Ryan Preece got turned around during the 2021 Sonoma race in the S's. He then decided to pull right back up on the racetrack, taking out Cody Ware, and then Cody Ware right hooking him into the wall, making the situation even worse. Then, under the yellow flag, when you're supposed to be maintaining a consistent slow speed, Cody Ware then drives into Ryan Preece, turning him around, costing him to lose positions under caution. No penalties were handed out after this race, but this is an extremely inexcusable moment in NASCAR.
And here's what happened in Budweiser shootout practice.
This is practice, Johnny. The 2
Practice?
20, once again. Neil, who's at fault? I don't know. I just think that was more racing, not giving and taking. The 2 car and the 20 car. Give me a break, guys. It's practice. Kurt moves up. Yes, but Tony could lift a little bit here. You know what I'm getting at, Kenny? I mean, let's face it. There was no give and take in that situation.
It reminds me of Allen Iverson, the basketball player. It's practice.
Kenny, this is where he's wrong. Look at this. Once again, bam. Come on, we're aiming on pit road. The cars are under caution. Kurt Busch, you are wrong for doing that. You cannot do that, Kenny.
Well, one thing I have to say, before anybody throughout the United States tries to separate these two, they are both champions. They both have great car control. But most importantly, they both are the same-minded people. They're both brutally in control of their careers. They know what they're going to do. And I'm going to tell you what, I've seen Tony Stewart do the same thing. But yet, you get him one-on-one at a dirt track at Eldora. These two guys were best friends last year. You get both of them one-on-one in the RV lot, and they're the nicest people. And I'm going to tell you what, Spence, they are the same people. Look at these guys. They're like boxers. They're in the ring, and they battle royale every year.
Okay. Crashing each other on the racetrack is usually fine. Everybody likes some beating and banging between drivers. But what about for a race that doesn't even matter, and it's in practice? Well, Kurt Busch and Tony Stewart definitely didn't like each other in the 2007 season. Leading into 2008, they accidentally ran into each other during a practice session, and tempers boiled over at Daytona.
I've never been wrecked by a wrecker.
Natalie Decker they're trying to push Natalie Decker off the track after being involved in an incident, and then
Pushed her onto it.
I think she wanted to turn on the pit road, and the record driver didn't realize that, and she was trying to hit the brakes, and
He was on the gas.
he was on.
I don't really think you could have any excuses for getting wrecked under caution by a tow truck. If that isn't something inexcusable, I don't know what is. Natalie Decker got caught up in a crash at Bristol, and she ended up getting wrecked by the tow truck. Yeah, that's really embarrassing. The funniest thing about all this is her spotter quit mid-race.
Did, but not our leader.
Whoa! Car goes around in the trial, the spinning, sliding out of control. B.J. McLeod brings out the caution. Stenhouse has wrecked on pit road. Coming into frame here at the top, and there's Tyler Reddick. All of them in their first 500 start, and moves on.
Yeah, and I just wonder if McLeod was trying to get woed up, and I think Cody Ware had no idea he was coming to pit road.
This one is definitely not a great look for Rick Ware. Both drivers were trying to commit to pit road under green flag pit stops for the biggest race of the season, the Daytona 500. Both of them locked their tires up, slid, and spun into multiple cars, costing them a great finish in the Daytona 500. This was a highly unfortunate event for everybody involved.
Make a difference. You see,
Crash coming onto pit road. Kyle Larson, late decision, wanted to come to pit road. Kyle Busch looked like he was going to come off of pit road. They hit.
Kyle was going. He was going to fake like he was coming on pit road, and he turned right to get on the racetrack. And Kyle Larson had the exact opposite idea.
Kyle Busch was trying to get back off of pit road.
Yeah, I think Kyle Larson. I think when he saw the 18, he turned right. I think if the 18 not been there, he probably would have made it. But
He's going to stay out. Kyle Larson looks like he's going to stay out. Kyle Busch decides to come in.
Well, then Kyle Busch changed his mind, took a hard right to go back on the racetrack at the same time that Kyle Larson decided to take a hard left.
Trying to pit for the 2015 Bank of America 500, Kyle Busch then makes a last-minute decision to not pit. At the same time, Kyle Larson makes a last-minute decision to pit. They both were technically beside each other under the yellow flag, and then ended up collecting both cars in an accident under caution on pit road. Both of them were in the playoffs and hurt their chances at competing for a championship. Luckily, Kyle Busch did regain some points and ultimately won the championship that year. During the Arca season championship finale race at Toledo Speedway, all Scott Speed had to do was get a great finish and he would be declared champion. Well, young driver Ricky Stenhouse had other things to say.
They are so concerned about how aggressive Stenhouse is behind him. Speed has actually talked on the radio about letting the 99 go around, and they make contact. Speed into the wall.
Speed into the wall hard, and that happened because Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was into the back of him. Let's see if he's able to continue on. A lot of damage to the right side of this race car. He needs to make his way onto.
Scott Speed was ultimately taken out of championship contention, and he wanted to make sure that Ricky Stenhouse also had zero shot at winning the championship. He then retaliated against Stenhouse, costing both of them a championship.
A little contact right there, a little. Problem. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. around, and oh, by the way, that was the 2.
Yeah, well, there was no question there. That was a little bit of payback. A little bit of payback.
Now into 5 and turn 6.
All of that contact between the two leaders is allowed. Watch it. Oh, the 24 is spinning. The 24's, oh, there's a multiple cars into the wall here. There must be oil or some kind of fluid down on the racetrack right there in turn. We got more cars coming in.
William Byron is reporting that the curb came up. He hit the curb in the 24.
Yeah, the curbing is coming up, and that's what everyone hit when they were coming through there in turn 6. The curbing comes up, catches a bunch of the cars, the front ends of the cars, and numerous cars are destroyed. Take a look at what happened to Daniel Suarez's car.
When debuting a brand new style of a racetrack, you want it to be perfect. Well, Indianapolis Motor Speedway was having trouble with the curbs in one of the turns. Ultimately, in one of the restarts with only a handful of laps to go, William Byron drove over that curb. It destroyed Byron's car and put oil all over the track, and when the field came by, calamity ensued.
And this is live.
So Sauter has just now wrecked Austin Hill. Well, that's not going to go over well.
No, I think they'll park Sauter for that.
Yes, indeed. So here is Sauter coming back to get Hill after Hill had moved Johnny and put Johnny into the wall.
I think
Johnny Sauter's day is done.
Crashing somebody under caution is one of, if not the biggest thing in NASCAR that is frowned upon. But when you intentionally get payback under caution and do it in a cheap shot way, that is something inexcusable. Well, Johnny Sauter got suspended for crashing Austin Hill during a Truck Series race under caution at Iowa.
And a crash on the front stretch. Carl Edwards and Clint Boyer are in it. Came in 13th in the championship standings.
Ooh, Tony almost got in the fence.
Then came down and got Boyer, and that took out Carl Edwards.
Tempers boiled over during the 2006 Pocono race. Tony Stewart got pushed in the wall coming off of turn 3 by Clint Boyer. He immediately hooked a hard left, turning Clint Boyer into Carl Edwards. That is something extremely uncalled for. Carl Edwards was extremely upset after being caught up in this accident. He then later retaliated against Tony Stewart under caution on pit road.
And diving to the low side of the racetrack, trying to take away that top spot.
Junior, I think that now.
Oh, contact! They both hit! Bell slams into the dump, or the Briscoe, and now Bell across the grass. The 98 was sliding.
How much damage? Look at all the damage on that 20. What kind of damage he may have gotten. Oh, yeah, a lot of left front damage. Yeah. Man. That was a great battle they had going on right there.
It looks like the 0 made the 98 check up.
That's very possible.
Garrett Smithley takes out both leaders Chase Briscoe and Christopher Bell in the closing laps of the Kansas race. When you're a lapped car, the best thing to do is get out of the way. But Garrett Smithley decided he was just going to pull up on both leaders and crash both of them, ending their shot at a victory.
Turn 6, Noah Gragson is in the tire barrier. He's nailed it, and he's doing a burnout, trying to get out of it, and he can't. He is stuck, leaving turn number 6. And he's creating quite a smoke show at the same time. He just killed the engine. He's going to need help to get out of this tire pack.
He's another one that probably will want to continue.
Basically clear the hook. They're going to pull him out. Let's take a look exactly what happened. Really much like Kyle Busch. He got a little bit further around the corner and going a little bit slower pace, but got wedged up underneath the tire barrier.
Turn 6, Noah Gragson's into the tire barrier again, and he's stuck again. He's trying to back it up. He can't do it. He's wedged into the tire pack in turn number 6. as everybody will race by to his inside.
Noah Gragson had one of the most embarrassing runs in the inaugural 2023 Chicago Street Course race. Noah Gragson ended up in the tire barriers in the same spot twice on 2 different occasions. He got stuck both times, brought out a caution, and it was just embarrassing. And that is something extremely inexcusable.
They're going behind the wall. You heard on the radiator, on the radio, is it the radiator or the oil cooler? So there must be a leak of some sort. You see the nose crushed in right here. I think it happened coming to pit road, didn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, it almost had to. I saw everybody bottled up on pit road. You see the safety trucks on pit road.
Yeah, the ambulance stops right at the commitment line.
That's just a miscommunication. I don't know if NASCAR told them to roll, or if they rolled by themselves and pit road was open. Normally pit road would not be open with the rescue squad there, but you can see right here they have no idea he's supposed to be, that he's going to be there. He's not supposed to be there. He shouldn't be there.
When trying to fight for a shot to win a championship, you want your season to be perfect. Well, Matt Kenseth has had an up and down season leading up to the 2017 Richmond race. All he has to do is have a decent race and he will make the 2017 playoffs. Well, what happens? An ambulance is parked on the bottom of the racetrack under caution. Everybody checks up and Matt Kenseth gets damaged. You cannot script a more unfortunate circumstance for Matt Kenseth. This is extremely uncalled for, and why there was an ambulance sitting at the bottom of the racetrack under caution when pit road is open will forever be a mystery.